Is it finally the end of the Melbourne City era? Hey guys, my name's Lockie, this is Coastwood Football, and we are doing a season preview for every single A-League club. And it's time to talk about the reigning premiers who dramatically lost last season's grand final 6-1 to the Mariners. Melbourne City, this is a really fascinating campaign for them coming up. So many losses for them. Let's talk about some of the changes first of all, and I've put the ins and outs on two separate slides because there's just so many of them. First of all, with the outs, so many key players from the last couple of years have departed City. You look at the likes of Aidan O'Neill, Florian Berenguer, players like Valen Berisha, Ricky van der Ven, all these guys departing the club. Marco Tilio was fantastic last year as well. Jordy Boss had a fantastic campaign last time around as well. And it's a team who, there was a lot of work for Rado Vidicic to really rebuild this side, to recruit well. And I think they have recruited pretty well overall. The signings of Togo Arslan and Hamza Saki have seemed to have settled in pretty well. They've looked pretty good in the Australia Cup so far. Marin Jakalic is a fascinating signing in the wide areas and a crucial signing as well. That's been those wide positions where Melbourne City have been struggling a little bit with injury and departures. Tilio departing. Lecky looks set to miss the start of the season, and a boot ruled out for the whole season, which is a huge blow. So some concerns specifically in those wide areas. But you look at the whole team now, and from what we've seen, in the Asian Champions League so far and the Australia Cup, it's especially that front six, if you like, the midfield three and the front three. It's completely changed aside from Jamie McLaren, and he has been struggling a little bit in the last couple of matches now to find the back of the net. Jamie McLaren maybe still searching for that chemistry, linking up with his fellow attackers and midfielders. But look, it's still a quality team. I mean, when you look at the players that they have brought in, someone like Togo Arslan, who I think is going to have a massive season. I think he's potentially going to be a star player for Melbourne City this year. And really step up as sort of a leader in that team. He's got great experience playing at a good level in Europe. He's played at decent clubs across Italy and Germany. And in defence as well, that's the area where it hasn't changed too much. You've still got the likes of Curtis Good, Callum Talbot, Nuno Reis, Cyprian, and Aziz Bayic joining the ranks there. And picking up Jamie Young and goalkeeper, I think that's a really decent pickup as well. There's, when you look at the team on paper, it's a team that should, be winning most of their A-League games. But it's a matter of whether, after so many changes, sometimes it works out, sometimes a refresh is needed. But sometimes it can be tricky for the coach to get that chemistry going. And Rado Vidicic is a coach who a lot of people are quite skeptical about in terms of whether he's the right man to lead such a big club forward. Look, no doubt Rado Vidicic is a decent coach. He's got great experience, especially in the A-Leagues. But it's a crucial season for Melbourne City. And, they don't have the best record in grand finals now, and that's the one that seems to be eluding them at this stage. Just the one grand final win over the last few years, which has been absolutely the era of Melbourne City. They have been the top for the last few years, and that's sort of the easy prediction for the last few years. Everyone calls Melbourne City to finish top, and from what it seems like online, the consensus is Melbourne City will not finish top this year. There's not a lot of people calling it. Who is the team to step up and take that place? Perhaps a team from Sydney, perhaps even an outside chance like Brisbane Roar. We'll have to wait and see. But Melbourne City, really fascinating to see how this season pans out for them. My prediction for them, I'm going to go top four. I do still think that they are capable enough to finish that high on the ladder. I think for them to drop lower than that would be a real shock and a real disappointment for them, because this is still a really fantastic squad. Hopefully for City's sake, Rado Vidicic does get that squad gelling as soon as possible and they start picking up results early. They should be finishing top four for me, anywhere between first and fourth. And for the rising star, for Melbourne City, I think there's a huge campaign coming up for someone like Alessandro Lapane, who has had limited, minutes last season at West Sydney Wanderers. A lot of potential, versatile as well, whether he plays in midfield or even out wide, where he has been playing lately for Melbourne City. He's a player who clearly has a lot of potential, loves to take on players, loves to dribble the ball, a lot of pace. And, 19 years of age, there's so much potential to grow. We could potentially see, the last time we had a player from Sydney join Melbourne City, sort of a similar sort of style, that was a certain Marco Tilio, who has now, secured a move over to Celtic. So is potentially Lapane set for a similar journey? Keep an eye on the young star at Melbourne City. Where do you think the City boys will finish this year in the A-League men's competition? Let me know in the comment section below. And make sure you stay subscribed so you don't miss any more A-League team season previews coming up here on the Cosmic Football YouTube channel. Cheers, guys.